debated calling this section miscellaneous, but I think best practices sounds better, right? I'm going to touch on site structure and governance, and then I'm going to close out our presentation with a few final tips on Tableau Bridge. The topic of data governance and site structure is wide-ranging and has many potential outputs. But in the context of site administration, it's important to understand that in mission-critical implementations of Tableau Cloud, critical views and dashboards should be maintained with development to production workflows in mind. And the production dashboards should be treated like products, not playgrounds. Just like you would do with any other system in your organization that relies on, changes that affect the output should be implemented in a test environment first, run through all the normal QA and user acceptance testing methodologies that you would use for anything else, and then finally rolled to production. Rollback options should be documented and occasionally tested as well. When you're thinking about site structure and organization, there are some key questions that you should ask yourself. What are your use cases for Tableau Cloud in your organization that make it mission critical in the first place? What types of views and dashboards are most important, and who creates and maintains those, and who consumes them? What is the range of consequences if the end users of your analytics platform consume incomplete, inconcise, or simply bad data? Topic change. Now we're going to talk about some data source requirements in Tableau Bridge. There are some things you should keep in mind around data sources when implementing and maintaining Bridge in your organization. First, you should understand that the general data sources that Bridge is intended to bridge to Tableau Cloud. A general maxim to keep in mind with Bridge is that it only keeps data fresh from published data sources. It will not keep data fresh for embedded data sources. That means that in a mission-critical implementation of Bridge refreshed data sources, that's a mouthful, you must create data connections that can be utilized by multiple workbooks, even if it will only be used by one. If you embed the data source in a workbook, it will not refresh via Bridge. Embedded data sources, just for what it's worth, are also sometimes the subject of frustration in the field of data governance, so following this rule of thumb has the incidental effect of reducing those frustrations. A quick reminder on data types as well. There are several data types that must be published as extracts, which include file-based data, Google Cloud SQL, statistical files, Snowflake when utilized with virtual connections, and then data types that support extracts or live connections include data hosted in private cloud platforms or relational databases such as SQL Server. Finally, I have a quick note around refresh extracts in Tableau Bridge. If you have been in Tableau Cloud for a while and already have a Tableau Bridge implementation, you may still be using what are now called legacy schedules. This model has been replaced by online schedules, which are feature complete with legacy schedules. You cannot take advantage of modern Bridge features such as pooling with legacy schedules in place. So that is a good reason by itself to migrate to online schedules. We don't know when Tableau is going to remove support for legacy schedules, but we do know that they will. So it's good to stay ahead of that if possible and migrate to online schedules if you haven't already.